Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be talking about the week that was in pro wrestling. So that is going to include the results for AEW Full Gear, the rundown of the participants in the Continental Classic. We'll go over that. And then my review of both SmackDown, WWE SmackDown, and AEW Rampage. No Collision this week because it was Full Gear on Saturday, so that replaced that. I believe Collision is going to be back either next week or the week after. I'm not 100% sure on that. So, let's get right into it with the results for AEW Full Gear. And we're actually going to start off in the pre-show because it's going to be a little funny. Well, I'll get it to you. So first up, Anna Jay beats Deonna Purrazzo, which, no surprise there. Really short match, though. Buddy Matthews beat Dante Martin, Commander, and the Beast Mortis in a really, really fun four-way match. And then this is the interesting part. Because I haven't heard of these guys until, this week. Have any of you heard of the Costco guys? Well, apparently their father, that's Big Justice and the Rizzler, if you remember, if you ever heard it here. I guess their father, their mentor, whoever he is, Big Boom AJ, defeated QT Marshall. Which is... that's honestly kind of funny. Low integration into some mainstream. I do enjoy that. And it was honestly a fun little matchup. Hopefully AJ does lace up the boots again sometime soon, because he's not bad. Anyway, we then kick off the main portion of the card, as Private Party successfully defend their AEW Tag Team Championships against the Outrunners, that's Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd, the Kings of the Black Throne, aka the House of Black, that's Malachi Black and Brody King, and the Acclaimed, that's Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. MJF beats Roderick Strong one-on-one. Mercedes Moné successfully retains her TBS title against Chris Statlander. Switchblade Jay White defeats Hangman Adam Page. Kyle Fletcher beats Will Ospreay. So that rivalry is probably going to continue. Daniel Garcia successfully gains the AEW TNT title from Jack Perry. Congratulations, Mr. Garcia. Konosuke Takeshita successfully retains his international title against Ricochet. That match sounds awesome. Bobby Lashley, that's right, recently debuted Bobby Lashley, beats Swerve Strickland one-on-one. And then our main event, as Jon Moxley successfully retains his AEW World title against Orange Cassidy. Definitely some obvious wins here, but it's definitely an entertaining card from what I saw online. Hopefully we'll see something AEW step up in the next couple months. Anyway, so those are the results for Full Gear. We now shift into the announcements for the AEW Continental Classic. Now, basically this is a tournament they had last year, crowned the Continental Champion, which was Eddie Kingston, who also held the Ring of Honor title and the New Japan Strong Openweight title, as part of a Triple Crown. I don't think that's what's happening here. I think we're going to be seeing title matches in these cards. I'll explain why in a minute. basically, this is going to be 12 individuals. They're going to be separated into two groups. They're going to face each other, gain points. The two with the two from each group with the most points moves on to face one another. The winner of that match faces one another. So it's pretty much the G1 for AEW. So here are our participants. First, in the gold group, we've got Darby Allin making his Continental Classic debut. Claudio Castagnoli, our first two-time participant. Will Ospreay, who wasn't in the company the last time AEW had this tournament, so nice little debut. Ricochet gains his way into the tournament as well. Brody King, another two-time participant. And rounding out the gold group, and I honestly thought this was going to be Jay White, but I'm more than happy that it's Juice Robinson. He deserves a little pat on the back too. So that is the gold group. We now move on to the blue group, which is headlined by the Continental Classic champion himself, Kazuchika Okada. I believe I've heard that he's going to defend the title in the matches he's in. So, unless I totally heard that wrong, but we'll see. Next up, Kyle Fletcher, which, honestly, that's a great choice. Then we got TNT champion Daniel Garcia, who is, again, a two-time participant, along with Mark Briscoe, whose story was that he was pointless going into the last couple weeks. He then picked up some wins. Hopefully we don't see anything like that this time around. Making his Continental Classic debut is Shelton Benjamin. That's right, the gold standard, former WWE United States and tag team champion. So that's going to be a great one. And rounding out the group, it's the Beast Mortis, which is a great pick. That is a great field. If it were me, I would have included Takeshita and maybe swap Brody King out for Buddy Matthews. But this is a solid group right here. There's no like down people. Like there's no people in here that think that I think, oh, they shouldn't be here. All these guys deserve to be in this. So yeah, that's our field for the Continental Classic, which starts this coming Wednesday. Cannot wait. Should be a fun one. So that is that. We now move on to our review of WWE SmackDown and AEW Rampage. We start off like we always do on SmackDown. What the heck happened last week with the Bloodline? Which I am getting a little sick of. Like, it's not like we're all goldfish here, WWE. Let's get away from this a little bit. So, anyway, we get the new Bloodline plus Bronson Reed out, in which, to all those complaining about Reed in the group, I honestly love it. He fits the vibe so well. Anyway, New Blood come out. Solo takes the lead. He says, Salt Lake City, acknowledge me. In which they definitely don't. He continues on. Oh yeah, we are 1 week from War Games. My crew is all ready to dominate. You know who isn't ready? Roman Reigns and his crew. He's not even here yet. But when he does show up, I want you and your crew to meet me in the ring, and I expect you accept my terms of surrender. And after that, you and your team can acknowledge me. I'm going to say this. WWE have done a way better job rebuilding Solo into this credible threat. I feel like he could kill somebody. Well, maybe not kill somebody, but at least hurt someone really badly. I feel like he could eventually be a decent champion. Not saying yet. One day. Anyway, that's opening promo, which we'll see play out throughout the evening. Our first matchup, it is another first round matchup in the Women's United States title tournament. So we got Bianca Belair taking on Chelsea Green and Blair Davenport. Really good to see Blair back on TV. And this match was pretty interesting, blocking finishers. At one point, Blair hit a drop kick on Belair and a senton on Chelsea Green. That only gets a... No, actually, that was Green. I definitely forgot. Then we see Bianca hit a superplex, 450. And then it was Blair pulled her out of the ring, sent her in the barricade, went for the pin, 1, 2, and as the 2 count was kicked out, we see on the Tron, Jade Cargill has been pretty much power bombed off a ramp into a parked car, which, I mean, that's definitely remnants of Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, if you guys remember that. So we see Bianca. She's torn. She wants to win, obviously. But then she also wants to go check on her friend. Inevitably, she runs to the back where it just breaks down to a one-on-one. Blair Davenport tries for a suplex. That gets blocked by Green, who then heads the unpretty her to pick up the win. And honestly, I do like that they did this for Chelsea. We do not yet know who attacked Jade, but we did see Piper Niven just kind of off screen. So, who knows? Maybe it's Green, maybe it's Nia. Who knows? Then we see Bianca. She's running in the parking lot. We see the ambulance there. Jade's being loaded in. Bianca then comes to, I believe it was Naomi and Bailey, with Bianca telling them, no, I'm going to go with them. You guys stay here and take care of your business. Bianca then gets in the ambulance, goes to the hospital with Jade. I believe Jade is slated for the next Women's United States title first round match. But spoiler alert, she does get pulled from the match, so we have an opening. And I've been seeing someone teasing a comeback. Woo! I wouldn't mind that at all. Anyway, so yeah, definitely some interesting goings on. We'll see what happens with the tag team titles, because they're feeling a little bit forgotten in this whole thing. So, next match up, we got the United States title open challenge, as it's LA Knight, taking on Santos Escobar. Definitely seen this match a couple of times before. I kind of wish it was Angel Garza getting this shot, because Humberto showed out last week. Anyway, before the match starts, lights go out. We see a, subtitled Shinsuke Nakamura Japanese promo. And apparently that distracts LA Knight so much that Santos Escobar attacks him before the bell rings. Here's my only issue with that. LA Knight wasn't looking at the Tron. He was looking right at Santos. So unless he was somehow looking up, at the video board up there. Why would he be distracted? Anyway, bell rings. Kind of the same match we've seen between these two, although it was definitely fun. One point Santos goes for the Phantom Driver that gets blocked right into the BFT for LA Knight to win and retain. And then we see Shinsuke Nakamura, who at some point made it to the top of the ramp, get in the ring and just attacks Knight. Post-match, including a big old knee to the back of the head. I am so freaking happy that Nakamura is back and he has this, kind of reinvention of his heel gimmick he used earlier last year, I think it was. And honestly, that match should be absolutely great. Hopefully it gets added somewhere. Like maybe it's a little early for Survivor Series. But maybe at like Saturday night's main event. That'd be a cool matchup to see. So, yeah. Great to see Nakamura back. We then get a little recap of the tag team title match last week where Tommaso Ciampa interrupted. Then we go backstage. The Motor City Machine Guns are, working out or whatever they're doing. No, they're talking to Gargano. But we really don't get much of what they're saying until we do understand them. With Shelly telling Gargano, Ciampa clearly ruined this match. Gargano replies, he just wants a title match. That's clear, we want next. Then in walks the Street Profits, who say, we know you're tight with the Guns, but his partner is bad news. We got next. So, we'll see where this goes. I'm glad the tag team titles are getting a story finally. And, the Guns are actually helping elevate the division, which they did in TNA as well. Anyway, then we see the OGs. That's Roman, Jay, Jimmy Uso, and Sami Zayn. They arrive backstage. Then we see Nia Jax. She's walking in the back. Runs into Nick Aldis. Who Nia Jax pretty much says, I don't know what happened to Jade. I was helping Candice and Tiffany prepare for their match. And then Aldis is like, alright. He walks off. And he runs into Cody Rhodes. And he's like, whoa. Cody, where are you going? You know Owens isn't here, right? Cody then turns to Nick Aldis, says, Kevin Owens wouldn't miss an opportunity like this. So then Cody Rhodes makes his entrance. He's in the ring, grabs a microphone, says, it's that time. I know someone who isn't here. It's Randy Orton. And Owens, wherever you are, come to the ring right now. Beat hits. No entrance. No Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes then continues, don't keep me waiting, KO. And then we hear Cody as Kevin Owens comes out from the ring, from the crowd. And then he kind of stays there for a minute. He says, I'm a little insulted. I was summoned here tonight because of the great Cody Rhodes wanted me here. And clearly I'm dressed for the best. He's got a tuxedo t-shirt on. But you're clearly not. Cody Rhodes then replies, yeah, you've been summoned to get in here in this ring right now. Kevin Owens replies, I know you're not used to this, but you don't always get what you want. I'm here, you're there, that's going to be enough for you. You really want to fight me? Tell me what's happening. What happened to Orton is your fault. Owens then starts to make his way to the ring. Kind of stops right before the barricade and says, for 4 years... No, he actually is in the ring at this point. He says, for 4 years, we fought the Bloodline together. Roman tried to end my career. And he tried more times than you can count. I stood by you. I stood by Orton. I was there for you at WrestleMania 39. I was there to help you win at 40. Because I helped you finish your story. But as soon as Roman needs a tag team partner, you jump. And everything that has happened so far is your fault. Then Cody, in the most fired up way I haven't seen in months, screams, "Enough! I'm gonna call this how it is. Roman asked me to be his partner, and I accepted it. And Owens, you just want to play the victim. And I gotta say, no one holds KO down more than you. You are obsessed with the idea of being on top. You've been synonymous with WWE for just under a decade. You want to talk self-sabotage? You talk Bash in Berlin, where you couldn't pull the trigger and get the win. You're going to blame me for that? Well, you finally pulled the trigger on the wrong guy. Orton didn't deserve what you did to him. But it did bring back your bad mood, and you crossed the line. And I'm going to beat you anytime you choose. It's coming. The ball is in your court. So then Kevin Owens kind of puts his finger to his lip for a minute. You want to fight me, huh? You want a match? But you're going to get it on my terms. And remember this, when it does happen, I'm just doing my job. I loved Randy Orton. I hate you. So then Kevin, I don't think he drops the mic, but he starts to walk away. And then Cody pretty much screams out, Kevin! I don't think you hate me. I think you hate yourself. And you know the lengths you will go to win. There isn't a single line you won't cross either. So, this is all I wanted from this Cody Rhodes reign. It's finally picking up. And honestly, I'm glad it's with Kevin Owens. Because he feels like he's treading water a little bit. So it's definitely good to see. So then we see the OGs. They're back in the Bloodline Clubhouse. With Sami Zayn kind of stepping up saying, you really want us to surrender? That's out of the question. Then Jimmy pipes up, we still need to find a fifth. What about Cody Rhodes? Roman replies, no, it's over. I've moved on from him. Jay then says, we could try Seth Rollins one more time. Roman's like, no. Sammy then replies back, there's no one else who can step up for us and be the fifth man. Then Roman Reigns kind of lifts his head, says, we don't need anyone else. This is all that matters. We're going to go out there and we're going to either kick ass or we're going to get our ass kicked. And if that's the plan, we're going to die together. Sami says, I'm in. What's the plan? Roman then kind of tilts his head. I don't know. Some turmoil for Roman Reigns. I love it. This is exactly what this character needed. To have his back pushed up against the wall. So then we see Cody Rhodes from his segment. He's just outside a gorilla position. Passes Carmelo Hayes and I believe Giovanni Vinci, in which that wouldn't be a bad partnership, honestly. Carmelo says something as Cody Rhodes passes. And then Cody kind of stops like a deer in the headlights, turns around, says, "What'd you say to me?" Hayes then kind of gets up in Cody's face, says, "I'm saying he's telling the truth." Cody then pushes Hayes back. Hayes gets in Cody's face. They look like they're about to throw down. Aldis comes in, separates them. Cody then turns to Hayes and says, "It's time to reevaluate your draft status." Oh, dang. Alright, getting Carmelo Hayes back in at least kind of the main event scene. He's kind of been... He's been a good challenger for LA Knight, but it's definitely good to see him, kind of back in the main event-ish scene. Although, let's face it, he's probably not beating Cody Rhodes. Next matchup, it's the tag team match playa as Bayley and Naomi take on Candice LeRae and Tiffany Stratton. And I'm going to say this, the dynamic between Candice and Stratton is interesting because they're like two little kids trying to get their parents' approval. It's interesting. So they go at it for a bit, and it's Naomi and Bayley are working together really well. One point, Candice blind texts herself in. She and Tiffany get in an argument, which leads to a big old leg drop by Naomi. Tiffany then gets hit with a double jump moonsault into a 2. One point, Tiffany forces Naomi to the side into the barricade. They get back in. A little bit more in and out. And as Naomi is trying to get back in the ring, Nia Jax trips Naomi off the apron. So your winner by DQ is Naomi and Bayley. So the three heels start to beat down on the baby faces. Io Sky runs out, but Nia pretty much levels her. Beatdown kind of continues for a bit. Then out comes Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan to join in the beatdown. Out comes the fifth woman for War Games. It's Rhea Bloody Ripley, and she has a kendo stick, runs off the heels. So, this is definitely elevating War Games a bit for me, for the women. So, we'll definitely see how that goes. We then get easily the match of the night as Tommaso Ciampa takes on Montez Ford. I only real nitpick. Tommaso Ciampa shouldn't have come out to the DIY theme. He needed to come out to his OG theme. No One Will Survive is a great theme song. Maybe they'll bring it back once he really turns heel. Like I said, this match was beautiful. Really well done by these two. Near the end of the match, Montez Ford goes for a crossbody, in which Tommaso Ciampa intercepts it midair with a big knee. Goes for the fairy tale ending. That gets blocked into a roll-up for a win for Montez Ford. I would have liked to see a more defined ending for this matchup. But if they're still going to continue this feud along with the Guns, I could be okay with it. Post-match, Ciampa attacks Ford. Angelo Dawkins comes out, makes the save, starts whooping on Ciampa. Then Gargano comes out, separates the two of them, starts talking to Ciampa. And then Ciampa pushes Gargano to the ground. And as that's happening, the Motor City Machine Guns come out and run off Ciampa. So this dynamic is going to be interesting. Hopefully they get big special match somewhere. Triple threat tag. That honestly sounds fun. So then we get our main event segment. We get the New Bloodline coming out. And as Solo Sikoa is bringing the microphone to his mouth, out come the OG Bloodline. They face off a little bit, but Solo's holding his boys back. OG's get in the ring. Solo then picks up the mic, says, "Roman, we're not here to fight you. I still love you guys. I've always loved all four of you. And if you join my bloodline, we can run WWE like we did for decades. You don't have a fifth man. You don't have a wise man. You don't have a choice. Join me or the four of you die where you stand." And as Roman Reigns is bringing up the microphone to his lips, we hear, "Ladies and gentlemen," which got me so good, as it's the wise man himself, Paul E. Heyman. He gets on the ring, on the microphone. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul," and then the crowd finishes it up, which I think looked like choked up Paulie a little bit, which was so fun. "Forgive me, I've been put through a table at MSG, but maybe my math is a little bit off. You're not able to do War Games 4-on-5. The math doesn't compute. And it's not going to be 4 versus 5. It's going to be 5 versus 5. And then Paul Heyman points up on the stage, and out comes CM Punk, the fifth man, making his return from Hell in a Cell, and they just all brawl. So beautiful. New OG Bloodline clear the ring. Jay, Jimmy, and Sammy with a triple dive. One point, Tama Tonga Tongaloa get back in the ring, try to attack Punk and Roman, who are still in the ring. They hit a GTS and a spear almost simultaneously. They then kind of look at each other, like they can't really trust each other. Rest of the OGs get in the ring. You kind of see Jay like, yeah. So, I know a lot of people are a little confused about this one. Because, why is CM Punk in this? Because it does make sense. Because Paul Lee, before Roman came back, asked CM Punk for help against the New Bloodline, who were holding him hostage. So, there is a lot of connective tissue here. This makes sense. And honestly, Seth being the red herring is definitely interesting. Because now it it adds to the build of the eventual CM Punk Seth Rollins match we're probably getting at WrestleMania 41 that we were denied at WrestleMania 40 due to Punk's injuries. So, yeah, definitely an interesting start to that. And, yeah, War Games is going to be awesome. Let's see how Punk can do. Because I don't think he's ever been in War Games. Unless I'm missing some. No, he returned to WWE last year after War Games. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. So that was WWE SmackDown. My only real kind of issue with it was, Bianca just bailing on the SmackDown, United States Women's Title Tournament. I don't know. I feel like a heel turn is coming, though. It's definitely set up that way. So, SmackDown overall very good. We now move into AEW Rampage. We start off with women's tag team action as Mina Shirakawa teams up with women's champion Mariah May to take on Nyla Rose and Harley Cameron. And good to see Nyla Rose back on TV. She is a lot better than you think she is. Yeah, this was an absolutely chaotic, kind of a mess of a match, but it worked. Especially with, Mina and, everyone actually really worked really well together. With Mina and Mariah May winning with a Doomsday Bulldog, which is, Doomsday device position. Instead of a clothesline, the person coming off the top rope, it's a Bulldog instead, which is crazy. We then get another hype video from the Continental Classic. Then we got this weird match. Not match, but segment, as it's the QT Marshall AJ weigh-in. So we're getting a weigh-in for a pre-show match. And if you remember the last time AEW did a weigh-in, which was Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo, which that was so horrible. Thankfully, we got a digital scale for this one. Before the actual weigh-ins, we get some promo time from both sides. We get QT Marshall starting us off. Enough with the boom. Tomorrow I bring the doom. You didn't have it then. You don't have it now. You should have stayed at Costco. Oof. So, AJ, he gets on the microphone. He says, I've been waiting to get my hands on you for 20 years. But I got one more surprise for all of you. I need someone special to ring the bell. The only guy it could be is the Rizzler. We got that announcement on Wednesday. Why are we doing that again? Anyway, it got a big pop, which, of course. So then QT strips down to his tighty whities, gets on the scale, weighs 229 pounds. He gets off. AJ then gets on. Apparently he weighs 550 pounds. In which QT's like, hey, I get why they call you that. And he's kind of laughing. Then AJ's son, I guess, turns to QT, says, you rigged that scale. It won't matter anyway, because tomorrow AJ brings the boom. So then AJ gets right up in QT Marshall's face, hits him with a pretty good hook, but then QT Marshall with the Diamond Cutter to end the segment. They definitely did this better this way in. I don't need to see any more. Please, AEW, do not do more weigh-ins. We then get a little hype video for the Fatal 4-Way Tag Match for Full Gear. Then we go into this wild match as Juice Robinson takes on The Butcher. And yeah, this was pretty much a big old hoss fight. Even though, Juice Robinson isn't exactly a hoss, but he definitely treated it like it. Really, really nice back and forth, including with The Butcher attempting a brainbuster that gets blocked. Juice with the left hand of God, I think it's going for, finishing up with a Juice is Loose to pick up the win. Juice definitely earned his place in the Continental Classic. Hopefully we see a good run out of him. We then go backstage for a Thunder Rosa interview, who's really excited for her upcoming tour of Mexico. But apparently on next Friday, she is having a very special lucha match with anyone she wants. And then in walks pretty much Harley Cameron, who stole Hologram's mask. And she accepts. Then she starts acting like a robot, which is very, very Harley Cameron. She then says, "You and I next week, I'll shut you up." Then Harley Cameron just runs off. And Thunder Rosa's like, Harley Cameron again. So, definitely a very weird segment, but if it leads to another plunder match, I think I'd be okay with it. We then get a newest match announced for Full Gear, as it's Ricochet taking on Konosuke Takeshita for the international title. And then we go to our main event, and it's a 6-man tag team match playa as Mark Briscoe, Tomohiro Ishii, and Rocky Romero of the Conglomeration take on Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order. And honestly, this was a very, very fun matchup. I definitely forget how good the Dark Order can be. Especially Evil Uno. Evil Uno is absolutely great. Really, really good back and forth. Dark Order tried for their triple finish, which is the Pendulum Bomb. That gets blocked. Ishii in like a house of fire. Goes for the Brainbuster, but Silver brings Evil Uno back to the mat. Then everyone's in. Everyone does their thing. Rocky Romero then throws Mark Briscoe a chair. Briscoe goes for his big dive, but that gets stopped. Rocky Romero with a big Rana. They set it back up. Mark Briscoe gets his big dive. Gets back in. Ishii with the Brainbuster. So your winners, the Conglomeration. So hopefully they do something fun with the Conglomeration coming soon, because they definitely need it. We then get the final look at the Full Gear Guns N' Roses hype video, which is, if you still haven't seen that yet, go give it a watch. It's awesome. So, that'll do it for me. I hope you all enjoy. Hopefully you all have a very happy Thanksgiving. My predictions for Survivor Series War Games depends on my availability. Either I can do it tomorrow, in which maybe we'll see a couple more matches added, or I could do it on Wednesday, depending on my availability, because I do intend to help cook. So, we'll see what happens there. Friday should be business as usual. And yeah, that'll do it from me. Hope you all enjoy. Till next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.